Well, hello fellow hunters of 2026. Welcome to this video where I plan on sharing with you a few builds and blings and sliders associated with it that you might find interesting, considering that you will start a new character for the Return To Yharnam 2026 that is coming up on the 24th of this month, so in a few days. So we might get started right now and prepare our little builds to go back on the hunt. And I have 4 builds to propose to you. All of those builds I will describe, they are pretty much my take on each archetype. The werewolf strength, the blodtinge with a twist, using the Garb wheel. The quality that is pushing the physical damage to the limit, the skill tinge build, so mostly skill but 25 in tinge, and how I have gemmed all of them. They all have pretty much perfect gems, so let's get started with the first one, the werewolf. And welcome back to the beast. This is the good old version of the strength build, but using the beast claws. The beauty of the strength build is just like arcane, that you can basically turn pretty much any weapon into a strength-centric weapon or arcane-centric. Or you use obviously weapons that have already an excellent scaling in strength. The beast claws don't have a very good scaling at all in pretty much anything. They end up with a pathetic DD in both, or maybe CD, anyway, it sucks. So they are actually, that makes them excellent clients for the good old heavy abyssal gems, those little radials that you see with strength scaling plus 65. You farm them from the headless bloodletting beast in depth 5 chalice dungeons, and you equip 2 of them, because at 50 strength you really benefit from 2 of those, and you end up with this sort of baby that dishes out a ridiculous amount of damage. The moveset is awesome. Obviously, if you want to look like a werewolf like that, well, first off, you have to not wear any chest piece. Second, you have to equip, obviously, the Beast Embrace rune, and that is not straightforward. You need to basically finish the game, essentially, and the DLC. So yeah, it's not the easiest to achieve, but hey, isn't that worth it? Look at this baby. It's so nice. These little hops, these little special moves of the Beast Embrace on the Beast Claws is always nice. The transformation attacks are awesome. Anyway, it's really cool to play, and it builds Beasthood on every version of it. And, it's not the case when you have the Beast Claws without the Beast Embrace. Anyway. And the second weapon that it's using is the amygdalan arm, and this has a natural very good scaling that can be further amplified by 1 heavy abyssal. Then I slotted a normal tempering gem on it, and then I finished it with this lovely little nourishing gem that gives me a plus 27% on both physical and arcane damage when I'm at full HP, considering that the amygdalan arm has an absolutely ridiculous rally and a strong reach. It's a broken weapon. Nobody's using it. There, you are, fellow hunters, you are all sleeping on a beautifully, insanely potent weapon. But anyway, it makes the game too easy. To be honest, it's that good. But after that, considering that you are loaded with strength, you can use the cannon. So why the hell not? So that's for triggering dagger. The Gatling gun is there for your long range damage, and the good old blunderbuss that you can see is equipped with a very particular little gem, plus 30 flat, which hits like a fucking truck. And that's it for the build. As you can see, the stats are pretty straightforward. 50 vitality. You start as what is it called? Military veteran, because that's how you get the minimal amount of blodtinge and arcane that is absolutely useless. You have 30 skill, that's enough to use the claws and what you want, pretty much every freaking weapon really. And you just complete the whole thing with whatever is left to get to 100, because I just wanted to finish 100, but if you want to stop at 95 you can with 19 entries. Anyway, and I will share the sliders for the normal phase afterwards. Now let's take a look at the other build. Hello and welcome back with the vileblood. This is a blodtinge build, classic you will say, but not quite, because I decided that, you know what, something that works really well in this game is at the fashion level is golden, with the knight attire that I'm wearing. And so the repeating pistol, the shikage have some gold, the crown, etc. Okay, that's cool, makes sense. You know what is actually really golden as well? The light here doesn't really allow to see it. That's the Logarist wheel. And the Logarist wheel has something that is very, very freaking precious in this game, is that it's by miles the best weapon for slotting it with flat arcane gem. And that makes this build a little bit of an oddity. But since I have enough strength to use that, I also have enough strength to use the other golden big stuff thingy. That is the church cannon. I have explained in previous videos years ago how the church cannon basically works differently than the normal cannon, so you can refer to this video if you want to know the details. But the build is essentially therefore 50 blodtinge classic to use the shikage. That's what you want really, unless you want to go like poison or really have a suboptimal weapon. It's the best blodtinge weapon by miles. I mean, I like the toilet brush quite nicely as well, but it does. The fact is that I have 15 skill because I want to be also able to wield the Simon bow blade, but it's optional. You can stick to 14 really if you want, because you don't really need the bow blade here. It's a good distance tool, but you don't really need it. What you will also have is 27 strength to use the church cannon, which also fits quite nicely with all the physical aspects of the Logarist wheel. 48 vitality and just 12 endurance, because that basically this build doesn't really need a high endurance. You melt things in 1 or 2 hits tops, or you do something wrong. And 18 arcane to use the best tool that there is, namely Ogre Memory. Okay, how did I slot how did I jam the weapons? Well, obviously I jammed the wheel with flat arcane gems, but the flat arcane gems I have, I've been lucky, I managed to drop after a few, probably 100 trials on the Mind Flayer. Um, I managed to drop those nourishing radios, and they are pretty nice. They are good on this build because I have 27 strength, so I actually use quite efficiently my strength. So, hey. And it has kin down just because you will never attack something that is kin with this weapon because it's doing blunt damage and arcane, and kin is versus each both really, so yeah, why? But I will not attack beasts with that either, except a few exceptions maybe, but for that I have the Shikage anyway. So that's it for the wheel. I never use it untransformed really, but this thing has the best rolling and dashing attack. It has a fantastic R2 with the multi-hit on the flat arcane gems. It is insanely damaging. It's fantastic, and you can, with the nourishing, you really benefit from the boost on the weapon as well. So this actually gives a nice boost on your damage. Obviously, the church cannon makes for a room cleaner, let's say. When you have too many people around you, you don't have any people around you. The repeating gun is a choice that is debatable because most people will find, and rightfully so, that 2 bullets for a mere 10% damage boost compared to the Evelyn is a bit steep, I agree, but it's golden, so hey. And obviously the king of all weapons in all the From Software games. Yeah? Oh yeah, baby. The freaking Shikage. Well, if you don't know the Shikage, you should really try it. That's all I have to say. And if you know the Shikage, well, you know the Shikage. So, next build. And this lovely old geezer here is surprisingly strong and fit for his appearance. 50 strength and 50 skill. That's the way to get the most damage out of physical scaling you can think of in this game. Obviously, no, it's 99.99, but you know what I mean. At 50, you're already at almost 90% of the maximum damage you can do. So, yeah. I think you're already at 92. Anyways, I don't remember. It's not worth going to 99. Everybody knows that. Anyway, so the point of this build was to use a very good skill-based weapon and buff it like crazy with an additional strength scaling heavy abyssal, and that gives you a monster, obviously. So this is 650 damage cane, which is, oh, I did not finish my farming. I'm just realizing it's not even a plus 27.2. Well, and so yeah, it's probably with the additional it should be 605 or 60 maybe. Yeah, well, the cane is absolutely insane. Everybody knows that this weapon has an absolutely great reach. It's very amusing and refreshing to use. It's also terribly efficient. So yeah, the cane makes everyone happy. So when it's boosted to the limit like this, it's quite nice. And obviously, oh, the best weapon in the game. This weapon actually benefits greatly from staying at 25, both in strength, skill, and arcane. But I wanted to really, boost it. Obviously, I could go to 15 arcane as well to really make the most out of the damage of this weapon. But Yeah, I stayed at 25 so I can actually still see the most of the meta around 20 to 120. Well, there are not many ways of gemming this weapon. It has to be nourishing gems. So there you go. Uh, uh, the base damage of this weapon is so humongous that, quite frankly, adding a plus 15 on it seems unproductive. I much prefer the huge chunk of increase that a plus 4.8% at full HP attack up represents, because that makes a big difference. When you hit really fucking insanely hard, and it's quite satisfying. Obviously, everybody knows that when you do that and that behind, it's really nice. Doing that is really nice, etc., etc., etc. Doing this sort of thing is also not very easy. It is quite nice too. Anyway, yeah, the moonlight sword, same as the Shikage. If you don't know it, you really should try it. If you know it, well, you know it's the second best weapon in the game, because I already said the Shikage was the best. It's actually second best, because objectively, the moonlight greatsword is insanely easier to use, much stronger to use, much stronger than the Shikage. But the Shikage I prefer. What can I say? But yeah, the moonlight greatsword is fucking insane. Shit up, and you don't even have to learn how to play. Just smash R1 and you win, because you have hyper armor on pretty much every single fucking move. It's a monstrosity of thrust, untransformed. The charged attack can be followed up for a double. It can double visceral. It's insane. It's insane. And for the rest, well, the classic. Here I didn't go for damage at all. I just used that for a little bit of regeneration, because I rely on the full HP on the moonlight sword. But yeah, and yeah, the outfit is the whole night. Anyway, that's it for this guy. Sliders a little bit further, because he really looks awesome. Trust me, you want to have this sort of slider. He looks, don't see it here. But next, now this might be my new favorite combo of outfits. I think it looks so fucking cool. I just can't get enough of it. So this is Gascoigne, Gascoigne, the choir gloves, the cainhurst legs, and what's the name of this? Bone ash mask. This is my skill build. As you can obviously tell from the fact that I'm wearing the Blade of Mercy, and that outside of skill, there is really no reason to use the Blade of Mercy. It kind of works on flat arcane builds, but not really. Not compared to the Logar's wheel, at least. This build is a 120. It has 50 skill, 25 blodtinge, because it's a skilltinge build that is using the Simon Bowblade, and 18 arcane, because Order of Ebrietas, guys, you have to have it. I went to 10 strength, and I can't really remember why. I suggest you stick to no, looks like for the church fate. I can't remember why I went to 10 strength. Stick to 9. You can start as a professional, and you start with 9 strength. 19 endurance and 48 vitality, or 49 vitality if you have 9 strength. So that is for the obvious stats part. Now, if we look at the weapons, I said I have the bow blade. Okay, the bow blade. I mean, obviously it's cool, it's nice, it's awesome, and it's very potent, especially on high skill and high blood tinge. But at 25 blood tinge, you know what? It's already a very efficient, more efficient than any gun will be at 50. At 50 blood tinge, it's a very efficient ranged weapon. So yeah, 25 is enough, really, just to, you know, deal with very distant opponents or annoying bosses. Like shooting amygdala in the head is it never gets old. And it looks absolutely fucking crazy good with this outfit, I find. Yeah, but the advantage of this blade is that it scales S in dexterity for pure physical. It deals an insane amount of damage. So yeah, it's better to be on skill. If you have to choose between skill and blood tinge, yeah, pick skill for the bow blade, I would say. I usually use it on blood tinge builds, and in the end I just pull it out only for very specific boss fights. Otherwise I use the Shikage because it can't compete. But on a skill build, it's really good. The moveset is very plain and quite boring, but super fucking efficient. And the transformation attack is its strength. You go, oh, the backstep, man. The backstep of this thing, and the follow-up, and the backstep, and it's absolutely cool. Plus the noise and the animation of the transformation. Addictive. Anyway, the bow blade is a no-brainer. How do you slot only 27.2 on it? I went through the pain of farming the stamina only. It took me solid 3 or 4 hours, I guess, but not much more, because with the skill build, the poor watchers, you just eat them at breakfast. So that's for this. It scales both on blood tinge and physical damage. So yay! The second one is our lovely Blade of Mercy. Now that's where you will say, hold on, why do you use the Lost Blade of Mercy on a skill build? Are you insane? Are you retarded? No, I'm not, because I did the tests, and you know what? It's better to I did not slot the last one. I did some tries and I forgot to. That's why I was hitting quite weakly the other day. Anyway, I have another abyssal on the waning slot, but the idea is that I took really advantage of the nourishing, because I have a little bit of arcane. 18 is not much, but you know, it does a little bit of additional arcane damage. But you don't even need, the truth is, you don't even need 18 arcane. If you do the tests, you will realize that even at base arcane, a good abyssal nourishing gem equals the damage of a normal tampering at 27.2. So when you increase your arcane, well, it hits harder. That's just how it is, despite what everybody in the Reddit seems to say. So I used the first slot for this lovely tempering abyssal, 24.8 plus 15 on small weapons with low scale damage, low base damage. It's good to have a plus 15. It's better than a 27.2 on this weapon, so yeah, check. By not much, but it works. And then the abyssal nourishing are, yeah, good. I have one that has attack up at full HP. Not that great on those weapons, although the attack multipliers on the Blade of Mercy are insane. So you benefit hugely. Attack up plus 5% on already huge multipliers on your attacks. If you use R2s and L2s, oh yeah, that works. And the other one is just a plus 15, I think. Plus 15 arcane. You have to be aware of the fact that this weapon, obviously everybody wants to use it like this with in dual mode, but be it in untransformed or transformed mode, this R2 attack drains your stamina because it hits like a fucking truck. The attack multiplier is huge, so if you use an abyssal nourishing on it, then you exacerbate the multiplicative effect of this multiplier on both physical and on your arcane damage. So yeah, it hits harder than pure tampering. It's a fact. And the running R2 is just absolutely fantastic, followed by a good... Everything has to be followed by L2 with this weapon. It's basically a bit like the Simon Bowblade. It's a hit and run sort of strategy, and it's the same with that. You come, you attack like this, boom, you go back. It's really satisfying to play, but it's not like you can tank or anything because you don't have hyper armor on anything. You have to be evasive, and so you're a fucking ninja. Essentially, you play like a fucking ninja. For the rest, well, I'm using the piercing rifle because the piercing rifle is good. Some people say it's slow. I don't care. First, it looks fucking awesome. And second, it's actually staggering on impact like hell. So even if you miss a parry, you know what? The attack is stopped. So yeah, you're safe. It's very nice, like the shotgun, except it has a much longer range, like guns. Has therefore a good use for bone marrow ash, and all that makes it for a fantastic offhand gun. Apart from that, I strongly recommend other very amusing little weapons, obviously, but the one that I actually used, because it's broken good, is the church pick. I'm not a big fan of the moveset. I find it boring as fuck, but fuck, it does the job, man. So if you want to shred a beast or a kin or whatever, you take that and you shred. And so thrust attacks it is in transform mode. This is all thrust. Anyway, very efficient. Boring, but efficient. So yeah, on thrust only gems, it's on adept gems for thrust. It's really good. I dropped 32.6% from the watchers, so that's why I used it on this build, because normally I don't. And with that, that is pretty much it. That's all I wanted to show you from the builds I have at the moment to propose. I will show you the sliders now if you're interested in my facial sliders for those characters. I hope to see you in Return to Yharnam 2026, because last year, I don't know for you, but if you were there, but I found it a bit empty. So I hope that more people will come back now that it becomes pretty clear that there will never be a Bloodborne remaster. Nope. So nor a remake, nor anything. This is the best case scenario. I just get it. The best case scenario is a Bloodborne 2 for the PlayStation 6. I guess that's the only thing that we can hope for. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in Yharnam very soon. May the hunt be with you. See you guys. Bye.